Hello everyone, Mendokichi here. For those of you who don't know, I do cosplays and I edit some of it using Photoshop. If you're interested to see how I edit my cosplays, be sure to subscribe and continue watching. I do different kinds of edits for my cosplays, but today I will show you how I edited my Diavolo cosplay from Jojo's Bizarre Adventures Part 5. Before opening the photo I want to edit, I have already fixed the lighting and colors using Adobe Lightroom. Let me know in the comments if you also want to see a tutorial on Adobe Lightroom. The first thing I'm going to do in this photo is to remove the mess in the background. Removing the entire background is fairly easy, but I won't do that in this edit. There's different tools you can use to remove the background, which I'll show you in a different video. In this video, we are using the pen tool to create a path. This tool helps you get more accurate lines and curves that you want. It is a bit time consuming to use this, that's why there's other ways, but I use this when I need to trace an object as accurate as I can. It also takes a bit of getting used to this tool, so let me try to explain how I use this. Once you've selected the tool, create a point in the area you want to start with by pressing the tool on that area. The next point will determine what kind of action you need to do. If the next point is just a straight line, you can just press it on the next point. If it's a curved line, press it on the point and don't let go of your mouse. Once you've pressed it, you can drag your mouse and a curved line with two guide points will appear. If you're not satisfied with how it curves, you can adjust it by pressing Alt and then dragging one of the two guide points. I'm tracing it just around the parts that overlap with the mess that I wanted to remove. You can definitely use this technique to separate the entire subject from its background. Once you've traced all the parts, press it back to your starting point and this closes the path. Still using the path tool, right-click your mouse inside the path and look for the Make Selection option. This will now select the object that you've traced. Right-click on the selection. Select the Layer via Copy option. It creates a new copy of the selected object. Make sure the photo you have selected is rasterized or else you cannot create a separate copy of the selection. Since my background is basically just a plain wall, I will just paint over it using a soft brush. Create a new layer for the paint. It should be placed in between the first two layers. You can use the color picker tool to get the actual color for the background. I used a soft brush in different sizes to fill in the mess in the background. Using a soft brush helps you blend the paint over the actual photo to make it more natural. You can use the erase tool to clean up the edges of your painted area. Now I am going to bring in my PNG file of King Crimson. This photo is available on the internet and I just traced the outlines of King Crimson using a brush, then saved it as PNG. I used pink to trace it, but don't worry, this color can easily be changed in Photoshop. To do that, double-click on the layer and a layer style window will appear. Select the color overlay and then choose whatever color you want to cover it with. Now that I'm happy with how King Crimson looks, let's bring in the Jojo letter. I also got this letter online, removed the background, and then saved as PNG. I changed the color using the same method I used for King Crimson. Now, I want the subject, which is myself, to appear like it's in front of the letter. So I'm using the pen tool again to create a path on the parts that overlap with the letter. Once you've selected that area, Click on the Jojo letters layer and then press the delete button. This will delete only from the selected area that is covered in the layer that you chose. Now to play around with my hair, I kinda wanted to add movement to my original hair, so I just played around with the shape that I'm going for. I applied paint using a semi-soft brush and used the color picker to match the color with my hair. Please take note that whenever I paint or do a certain action on this photo, I create a new layer for it. I'm also using this to extend my hair because I currently have a mid-length hair and I don't like wearing wigs. So I sometimes Photoshop my hair for my cosplays. I reduced the opacity for this layer so the paint would blend with the photo. After painting the parts where I want to add hair, I selected a new and smaller brush for the hair strands. In another layer, I started adding strands on the new parts that I created. Do not overthink this and just go with the flow of your hair to make it look as natural as possible. I used 3 shades for this to look natural. First is the darkest shade, second is the medium shade, and lastly the lightest shade to add some highlights on the hair. This kinda looks weird from the screen recording, so I'll show you how it actually looks. I wasn't satisfied with this part of the hair, so I decided to delete it and make a new one. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Learning is always a trial and error. Using separate layers will also help to easily fix the mistakes you've made. Now this looks better and it blended more with my actual hair. To add the black spots on Diavolo's hair, I used the brush that I used for the strands and painted random spots on the hair using a black paint. And that's it for this edit. It took me around an hour to finish this edit, but you guys just saw it in under 20 minutes. I hope you enjoyed and learned from this video. If you have any questions, feel free to comment it down below and I'll try to answer as much as I can. Also, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and also share it with your friends.